We hear it all the time. America is facing a student loan crisis, and with 45 million Americans dealing with student loan debt in 2020, it's time for a change. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are Evolution Consulting, and we are so excited to share our campaign, Change That Matters. Here's a brief overview of what we'll be discussing today. While you look over that, let me introduce you to our team. My name is Stacey Oddcare, and I'm joined today by my colleagues Emma Scott and Jenny Tran. Per your request, we took a look at your three main objectives. By implementing our whole campaign, we can increase your traffic and downloads to over 100K, increase awareness to 1 million people talking about change, and grow profits by $5 million. Before we dive into your research and analysis, let's talk about who your customers are. Change serves three different customer segments: Henry, Emily, and parents. Henry is a recent college graduate and busy young professional. His segment makes up 80% of your customer base. As part of the millennial generation, he's between 24 and 39 years old. Henry's debt is holding him back from being able to accomplish his next milestones in life, such as buying a house or starting a family. Emily is still in college, spending time on social media and making the most out of her college experience. 73% of those in the Emily segment expect to graduate with student loan debt, but Emily only makes up 10% of your customer base. She plans on finishing college and finding a job before even thinking about tackling her mounting student loan debt. Nearly half of this segment believes that they'll be done paying off their student loans in 5 to 10 years after college, when the national average is actually closer to 20. Lastly, the parent segment makes up the last 10% of changed customers. What a lot of people don't realize is that this segment actually carries the highest student loan debt. With the average student loan term at 20 years, many parents have only been free from their own student loan debt for a few years before taking on their children's. With the highest income out of the three, the parent segment holds the potential to grow change to the next level with the right strategy. We conducted our own research to further validate this information by conducting a survey using Google Forms. We received insights into how student loans were viewed, reasons why people chose to pay their loans or not, and measured the awareness of student loan repayment apps. The limitations of our survey were that 92% of our responses were representative of the Emily segment. Our survey confirmed much of our research, but what we also heard was a lot of fear and uncertainty. The majority of respondents hadn't paid down their loans because they felt like they didn't have enough money and admitted putting it off until after college. We want to empower this segment and communicate that every change can make a lasting impact on their future. To build a stronger bond with your customers, we need to understand the journey they make, from learning about you to wanting to tell all their friends. A missing piece is having a clear way for customers to advocate and create buzz around change. Jenny will explain in more detail our plan to amend that in phase 2. With our comprehensive 3-phase strategy, we can show you how to achieve a new and more robust customer journey to achieve your objective for organic growth. These are the digital spaces that your customers use to learn more about you. We'll focus on the app and website because their social media channels performance meets the industry standard. When we compare change to its direct competitors, it's clear they deliver a superior product. Since the app stores are the last point before purchase, strategically placing change in front of your customers as they're evaluating competitors can help incrementally grow downloads. Next, let's look at your website. When we analyzed your top performing keywords, we found that about 85% of traffic comes from branded keywords. This means that your website isn't doing much to attract people who might be looking for the services you offer but doesn't know who Changed is yet. This is a key factor to consider in your pursuit of organic growth. The quality of web traffic can also be measured by bounce rates and authority score. Your website suffers from exceptionally high bounce rates, typically trending between 50 to 100% in a 6-month span. The issue is further compounded by a low authority score of 38. If the quality of the backlinks referring traffic to change remains low, bounce rates won't improve. With so much talk about student loans on the internet today, there's so much opportunity to funnel more traffic to your website and help the people who are looking for solutions. Are you ready to see how we can make change the change that matters? Let me hand it off to Emma to show you how.
Thank you, Stacey. So we've crafted a campaign to spark a nationwide conversation about student debt by creating National Student Loan Debt Day. We want to place change at the forefront of this new conversation, allowing potential customers to feel empowered and in control of their future, knowing that every penny truly counts. This plan will be implemented in 3 phases, with the first phase addressing the issues of changed search optimization, and it will run from January through July. The key activities are to create platform cohesion, enhance customer experience, and boost searchability. These are the KPIs and goals we will be using to measure success. The total cost of Phase 1 will be $150,000. The first item to address is changed platform cohesion. With varying usernames for each social media account, searchability and conversion rates are negatively impacted. We suggest rebranding all platforms to Changed App. Additionally, implementing a QR code for desktop users will streamline their downloads to mobile devices. The next step in Phase 1 is to redesign your website navigation bar to improve the overall user experience and decrease bounce rates. This new clean and simple design will have 5 tabs that will encourage users to explore your information and services. One of the new tabs will highlight our recommendation of changed HR that Jenny will explain in depth later in our presentation. We have also added a sign-in feature to allow customers to access their account from multiple devices. When looking at your website, we found that a major issue is that you have a lot of great information, but the article-style posts aren't a very digestible format for your customer segment. Transitioning to things like infographics will improve the site's overall stickiness and appeal to Emily and Henry. It will also increase meaningful keywords to improve your SEO and diversification. Then we want to begin working on your authority score. Like Stacy previously mentioned, it's currently 38 out of 100, but we believe our implementation will be able to bring that up to 50 to match the industry average, or even higher to 60. This will make it easier for new users to find Changed organically because Google and other search engines will begin to view your website as more credible and push Change to the front of search results. These are the 2 approaches for this. The first is to hire an in-house employee that would be responsible for all backlink duties, and the second is to outsource this to a third-party firm who could also give you the added benefit of creating content for your social media platforms. Some of the responsibilities of the in-house employee would be to create relevant content for industry affiliates. They could utilize the skyscraper technique to craft infographics or lists for similar industry websites to use in return for a backlink. In addition to this, Change can also sign up for Help a Reporter Out. So when reporters need information regarding student loans, they will reach out to you directly, and Change will then be linked to high authority scoring sites like news outlets. Lastly, you can also diversify the types of backlinks by featuring things like YouTube testimonial videos. Here is an example of skyscraping. So say Forbes posted this lengthy article on how to pay off $100,000 of student loans. Your new hire could cherry pick the most important details and craft an infographic similar to the one here, and then contact the author of this post and ask if they would like to utilize your infographic in exchange for a link to Changed. We also want to increase your paid growth and searchability by implementing Google Ads for both mobile and desktop searches. Stacy mentioned that most of your organic keywords are branded, so we believe Change should instead capitalize on people who are trying to learn about student loans, as well as parents thinking of starting college funds or looking to help their child pay down their current loans. Google suggests using between 7 to 10 keywords, so we've chosen 11 for you to pick from, with the CPC ranging from $0 to $6. Although some keywords have a CPC of $0, these are the keywords that Change doesn't organically show up on the first search page for, so we can leverage those without a high additional cost. The lump sum cost comes out to roughly $30,000 a year for mobile and $20,000 for desktop, and the estimated website impression falls between 340 to 590 on the high end. Here is the example of what a Google ad would look like if a potential customer were to search for a student loan repayment app. Instead of showing up as the 11th result, Change would be bumped to the front of the search list. Next, using Apple search ads, we will help capture customers that are in the buying segment of the customer journey. This ensures that there's a direct comparison by consumers, and your great reviews and ratings are guaranteed to be included in the customer consideration set. Jenny will be discussing how we can get 1 million people talking about Changed.
Thanks, Emma. As Emma mentioned, our goal is to get 1 million people talking about change. With our phase 2, we'll elevate your brand and put you at the forefront of this revolution. This involves registering for National Student Debt Day and a social media campaign to drive even more conversation. We predict that we will meet these KPI targets and estimated the total cost of phase 2 to be roughly $10,500. In order to get started, we must fill out the application, which involves providing information such as ways to celebrate and its purpose. Approval process takes about 1 to 2 days. The standard package will allow the holiday to be a permanent listing on the National Day archives and will list Change as the creator and a backlink to the Change website. The holiday will be officially featured on the archives website in 2 weeks after its approval. To legitimize the credibility of this revolution and facilitate focus on the Change brand, we highly recommend that you purchase the National Student Loan Debt Day domain, which to our luck is currently available. The website can be used to show and educate visitors on their own student loans in an interactive way, and in the future, if you choose to, the website can serve as another stream of revenue. I'm sure you've all heard about TikTok. Well, according to our research, 50% of TikTok's audience is in the Emily target market. So this is a great way for change to engage with Emily. This campaign is based on a day in a life where we'll encourage users to document their daily expenses and see the contributions made to their student loans under the hashtag Change That Matters to drive awareness and engagement. As a reference, one popular challenge had garnered more than 10.4 million engagement and over 8,000 submissions. Since Change does not have a large following on this platform yet, we can use influencers to kickstart the hashtag challenge. We should focus on influencers whose followers matches Change target market, which are those that are college students or are into financial wellness. Here are 2 content creators that fit these criteria. Another way to get exposure is in the form of Google Doodles. A website listed 3rd on the search list of a Doodle launch received 33 years worth of natural search traffic in one day. After registering the day, we can petition to have it as a Doodle to spark a nationwide conversation. And since the domain will be part of Change, we would not need to allocate funds to Google Ads. Because obtaining a Doodle is not up to our decision, we have to take certain steps in order to make that possible. First, we must create related content every year in the form of press releases, YouTube videos, and updating the National Student Debt Day website and its Wikipedia page. Then, once the event is more relevant, then we can go ahead and submit a proposal for a doodle and have a higher success rate. In our Phase 3 strategy, Change will be creating a new service that allows businesses to offer a benefit that follows a 401k matching system. The new service will be called Change HR and will offer a tiered program for varying business sizes. The total marketing cost will be $25,000. Changed HR can have 2 benefits: student loan repayment and college saving program to cater to young professionals, those who have children or are looking to pursue a higher education themselves. According to our survey results, there is a strong interest in student loan repayment benefits. By following the tiered program, which is by company size, we can take into consideration costs like licensing fees and cost per person. In order to address risk management and data security, we recommend that you partner with a trusted brand and platform like Microsoft Azure. Azure can give you not only the security you desire, but also the ability to expand your data management capability as you grow your accounts and services. To better understand how Change HR can be integrated, we've created this digital technology flowchart. For example, Henry wants to access his HR benefits. He can do so by accessing his work ERP program or his Changed app on his phone. When Henry checks his benefits, whichever client he is using will access Azure to pull his information. Azure will then create a customized dashboard depending on which client. Henry can then be able to see his HR benefits through his workplace portal or toggle between his HR benefits and personal account through his mobile. So how are we going to market this new service? Well, the SHRM annual conference and expo will be able to give you the brand awareness and a wider reach for a cheaper investment. This is the perfect place to announce Change HR because attendees are decision makers who are searching for HR solutions. Aside from that, we should also aim to participate in the product launch theater to provide even more in-depth information. The presentation can then be uploaded to social media to gain more exposure. Another perfect coincidence is that the SHRM 2021 Expo will be held in Chicago. We thought that it was necessary for Change HR to have their own domain and website. Within the website, seamless transition from personal account to employee benefit account is possible depending on what the user is looking for. We should also provide relevant information to highlight the Change HR service. And now I'm going to be handing it back to Stacy to talk about expected costs and revenue for each of our phases.
Thanks, Jenny. So let's talk about the fun stuff, the money. Our total cost is $187K with an excess of $63K, which can be used towards outsourcing backlinks and content creation from phase 1 or developing Change HR. The potential revenue is broken down per phase, and overall, our integrated phase implementations have the potential to create $5.2 million in revenue. Our team wholeheartedly believes in your product and mission, and we believe that you can be seen as a change agent to empower people to make the changes in their life that truly matters. We appreciate your time for considering our recommendations, and we look forward to sharing more details and answering your questions in our next meeting. Thank you.